Hi everybody, how's it going? Um, yeah, I went and got some food. I went to Arby's and got quite a few roast beef sandwiches. I spent like 10 minutes just talking to the employees there since they were, one, not too busy, and two, like half of their working staff didn't show up. So, yeah, it was just the one woman who was manager and two other girls. So I just hung out 10 minutes there, just chatted everybody up. It was just nice to talk to people. Yes, I know I'm a bit antisocial, but it actually does cheer me up to actually talk to other human beings face to face. It's just one. Well, I'm kind of a paranoid, jaded individual with a general distrust of certain, well, everyone. But in general, it's also just the fact that I don't go outside very often, and even then, most times when you're around people, it just I think the main thing that really just made it easier to just talk a little bit more fluidly anyway, or just because usually you don't want to make other people uncomfortable, so you don't really. Granted, there was a few times I made a few jokes here and there because one guy said he wanted food quicker. I'm like, he just wants to beat the storm because there's another storm rolling away, well, rolling into the way. So everyone actually wound up starting laughing from that. So yay! Like I said, I try to make people laugh. Also, in general, in real life, I tend to be a very stoic, quiet individual. It's just hell in general. Most of the time, I don't really have people to talk to at all, let alone about personal things. And heck, even if I did have people to talk to about personal things IRL, I mean, it was just one. There's a limitation to how much other people can fucking handle. It's like, oh, here's a little teacup of your attention span for me talking about my bullshit, and here I'm gonna get like a 5 gallon drum of me just bitching because that's basically what it would be every day on this fucking channel when I make videos. But I'll say this: went 52 hours, I think. Not even. I think it was Saturday when I started the 0 calorie fast thing. It's Monday, like 4 in the afternoon now. I ate a couple of the roast beef sandwiches, so obviously I have a little bit more energy because meat. Ate some Arby's, which, yeah, I know Arby's got that reputation for perhaps not letting people have the best digestive health in the world, but it's just one, it tastes good. Two, I was really starving. So, and it's just another thing is you tend to like when you're not eating anything, you tend to feel like really, I don't know, tired, and it's just. I understand the bit of headaches I was starting to get, maybe just the teeth issue I have from that one previous job in the past. So, some point, but for the most part, I think it was also just my body saying. But at the same time, I still kind of want to go back into the 0 calorie fasting thing because I feel like it's the only way I'm actually going to lose any fucking fat. Because I feel like, okay, I'm fat, I'm disgusting and ugly, and I'm weak, I don't have any fucking muscle, I'm ugly as shit, I'm not rich, I'm going to have to start working very soon so I can afford to do rent, which does bring up a funny thing. Like I said, I was joking around a little bit with the women that are working. They were a bit short-handed, and because no one wants to show up to work anymore apparently. But anyway, the manager wound up showing up, which is a woman I actually worked with way back in the past. She's like 20 years older than me. But yeah, she was trying to convince me to actually get a job and work out there with them because she's worked with me before and she knows that I do a damn good job and I work really hard. But at the same time, you know, they wouldn't be paying me enough to take care of rent. But at least it's good to have that as an option. But at the same time, I'm going to have to do something that pays a little bit more than that. But it is a notification on my computer. But yeah, just in general, it's just One, I was starving, and like I said, I think I went like 52, 54 something hours. Honestly, I don't remember anymore. I think it was Saturday, like a noon or something. I wound up, and it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon it's Monday, right? Check my phone. Yeah, it's Monday, May 6th. So technically I ate something like what 10 minutes ago. So this is considered four. So so 52 hours, 54 hours, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. Though part of me also feels like I'm a fucking failure. It's like I said I wasn't gonna eat anything, and I'm like I'm hungry, and I went and got Arby's. I'll tell you this, the food was delicious. And like I said, it did actually make me feel a bit more chipper to just talk to people. Hell, they actually seemed legitimately happy to be talking to me as well. So I was just like making small talk and shit. Which is just, like I said, it's just nice to talk to people. Actually vocal conversations. And granted, I know there are people out there that do stuff like that on VR chat. Heck, I know I hopped on VR chat. I think I hopped on there like the day before I went and get that bladder surgery 6 months ago. Just because I was like, okay, I'm going to hop on this. I want to talk to somebody. The funny thing is this. 6 months ago, I had that bladder surgery. Granted, it was a minor bladder surgery. It wasn't the main thing they initially told me I was going to have to do, which I probably wouldn't have done. And if I had done, I probably would have died during that. Because shit. So I'm glad I was able to do the much less invasive version of that shit. Because I was very um, anxious and scared and worried about that. But at the same time, it's just, I'm glad. I'm really glad that I didn't have to do the more extensive version of it because that, honestly, I think I would have died going through that. That being said, I was still miserable. Yeah, when I did have the minor one. But at the same time, at least my mom was here for 3 days and 3 nights to be here for me because I was practically fucking crippled. But yeah, it's just fuck. Uh, but it was just nice to talk to those girls. It was nice to be able to talk to people, and they were smiling and they were laughing at the jokes I wound up saying. And I don't know if it's because they also want me to fucking work there too, because they. So by the time I left, all three of them were actually asking me to possibly start working there, and I'm like, I'll keep it in mind. But honestly, no, because I mean, granted, it's still honest. I'll keep it in mind. I mean, it's always good to have an extra option. But at the same time, there's no way in hell I'd be able to pay rent working at that. Granted, at least I have the extra money I've been living off of from all the damn overtime I did at the job I was doing. But again, it's just that job. Financially, I would have been okay if I just stayed there. At the same time, I wouldn't have ever lasted. My knees were giving out. I was having constant chest pains. And even in the business itself, my employers were having financial problems. They were going to have to start laying people off. And honestly, I think in about a couple years, like 2 years, that place would probably be bankrupt. So it wouldn't even matter if I stayed or not. But even then, it was just, that place was such fucking shit. I was so miserable at my job. Now, granted, I'll probably be more miserable if I can't pay fucking rent. But like I said, I'll have to. That's also part of the reason I was like, you know, at least one thing I initially want quitting that job. Okay, I have a chance to recover from all the constant chest pain and sleep deprivation and the knee injuries I had at the time. Plus, my lower back and shoulder blades did hurt quite a bit because I'd basically been working myself to death. I was literally killing myself doing that job. Had I not quit that job, I was going to die of a heart attack. I was chugging energy drinks to wash down caffeine pills and Advil and Tylenol just to keep going, as they kept pushing impossible fucking quotas that there was no fucking chance we could do. and it's just everything was falling apart. That like the machines were breaking, and maintenance wasn't there half the fucking time we needed them. And then at the same time, we had like the other factories that made the parts that we needed to build our shit. A lot of them weren't able to actually do what they needed, and of course there's factories where we send some of our things to go, and those factories also having trouble. It's like honestly, the business itself, the company itself, and even the industry it is, all honestly is going to shit. Now, granted, I understand the economy itself is having a little bit of a hit across the board, but I feel like the industry I was working for is, or at least was working for, is going to get hit a lot harder than everyone else. So it's already a damn good thing I'm out of there. Like I said, I'll probably get that one job helping people get medicine, or I've keep another few ideas in mind. I don't, like I said, figure something out. I'd rather do something I like or at least don't hate. It's just that one job was just, oh, it was so horrible. Now, granted, again, I've worked much worse jobs and all in all. The job really wasn't that bad. It's just the way management was handling shit. They were just, it was going to fucking hell. That being said, I worked at much worse jobs. Like you guys already know the paint job place I was at for a couple years where, basically I was having to breathe in just powdered metal paint. And, at least there's no permanent issues with my lungs or anything, granted. Had some x-rays, a few minor issues, but nothing major. It's just, I was just working myself way too fucking hard at that place, and it more than just burnt me out. I was literally just, my knees were going to get seriously injured doing that, as well as I was going to have a heart attack. I mean, I was just having constant migraines, my chest was having constant pain, and my body, even though I was taking Advil and Tylenol, I was in constant pain doing that shit. And the idea initially, okay, I quit my job, like, okay, I'm going to try to focus on my health a bit more. And, well, I did wind up sleeping a lot more, and, well, I definitely was able to not have the chest pains anymore, have the headaches go away. And granted, sometimes a little bit of a headache came back, because, dental infections. And also one time I had a fever, like a week or two after I quit or something. I'm not sure. It's hard to keep track of that, but it was like 3 days I was kind of sick. But it's just, and I was able to recover my knees a bit, but I think I underestimated just how much all that shit fucked me up. And I kept trying to push myself harder, and then it's like, okay, cardio's having an issue, then my back and my lower back. Like, my lower back was hurting quite a bit. It felt like a dumbbell was being fucking, like, super glued to my fucking tailbone. And I tried to push through that with some back braces and Advil. And then I just, like, felt like I gave, like, the worst case of shin splints and muscle cramps and strained just about all the muscles in my legs. And, my hamstrings really fucked up, definitely. At least self-diagnosed, felt I had like tendonitis of both hamstrings just about everywhere, and my knees definitely hurt to a bit where I felt like, okay, I was getting to the point that was really close to where, like, the lateral meniscus stuff, like something's hurt there. Like, obviously I'm still able to walk, and of course, like, past couple weeks I've been like going out for like bike trail and walking like 8 miles, and same time going to the gym. I know nobody gives a fucking shit, no one's watching me or anything, but like I'll get off the elliptical and I'd be like, put an arm to my back because my lower back would be hurting, and then I'd sit down because my knee was fucking throbbing. It's like, but at the same time, I'll tell you this, even from the injuries I gave myself from trying to push myself to run and shit on the fucking bike trail is nothing to compare to the constant pain I was feeling when I was doing my job. Because back when I was doing that job, I'd be laying in bed or sitting doing it late at night, my knees would be fucking throbbing. It would be constant pain. So, I mean, obviously, even, I'm a lot better. It's just, one, I feel discouraged the fact that I haven't built any muscle. I'm still fucking fat. Still have like a fucking gut. So I have a big belly. Maybe one thing, like, it'd be nice, like I've been saying, like that one video with the testament on the, the testament Guilty Gear character on the thumbnail. Like, I want to try to get a 6-pack. But here's the thing: not only do I not have a six pack, but also I don't have a flat stomach. I have a belly that sticks out there. I mean, you guys have seen, like I've done live streams. You guys have seen how fucking fat I am. I also feel like if I lost the fat, I'd be able to run a lot easier, and it'd put less pressure on the knees and the back, and I'd be more flexible, and I'd have better cardio, and maybe I'd be less lethargic, and I'd have more energy. So, and I know I understand to some degree I'm beating myself up a bit too hard on that, but at the same time, I just, and again, yes, it's a self-esteem issue. I mean, to a large degree, I feel like I'm a failure, and I'm worthless, and I'm ugly, and it just, like, they're just everything's in the world's fucking wrong with me, and everybody hates me, and everybody would want to hurt me. And then again, some justified reasons to think for that, and certain reasons, but at the same time, it's just a mix of a lot of negative reinforcement on certain things I've experienced, as well as just a lack of the positive. And at the same time, it's just, I really do lack, you know, happy, comfortable, sociable interaction things. So, because to a large degree, I kind of feel that any attempt at social interaction is going to be negative, and that anybody I talk to will probably just be disgusted at the idea that I'm talking to them. And I understand to a large degree that's me being in my own head, but also I feel it's also me being realistic about at least understanding how people actually see me. And even then, also just the, yes, I understand other people don't need romantic relationships, but it's kind of an important thing for me. I'm a kind of a hyper affectionate, lovey dovey person who probably needs about a couple hundred hugs a day and emotional validation. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to a partner who is just lovey dovey and just like doting. Everyone's like, haven't heard the word doting before. Doting just means you love somebody, you respect them, you care about them, you just are overly fond of somebody, and you're not critical of them. You're not judgmental of them. You accept them for who they are. You respect them. You are proud to be with them. You care about them. And that's another thing. If I'm ever like with somebody, I want to be friends with them. I want an emotional connection. I want to feel safe and comfortable around the person. I want to I want to feel the person wants to be around me and actually desires me and likes me both as a person and actually finds me attractive. You know? I don't know, but in general it's also just nice just to talk to people. Now, maybe I should try to hop on the VR chat thing around and try to annoy people because like I said, I hopped on that thing about like the day before I hopped in the surgery just because I wanted to try to talk to people. But honestly, I'm such an antisocial person that my initial like time hopping into that, there was like the VR chat room in question was like this skyscraper in the middle of a big city where it was like raining, and I just sort of like stood there. Well, I mean, I was in real life sitting, but my character just standing there at the window in the like I'm standing there in a thing that's meant to be sociable, and I'm just standing there looking out the window, just staring at the rain. I'm actively watching, and granted, yes, I'm the kind of person like I like watching rain. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm the kind of like a Shikamaru from fucking Naruto. I like to sit and watch the fucking clouds go by. I like to relax. I like naps. Okay? I like to sit and watch Let's Plays. Like, literally, once I finish this, you know what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be sitting, eating roast beef sandwiches, and I'm going to be watching Let's Plays of somebody else playing The Binding of Isaac. So, yeah. That's at least the most sociable thing I can do. Because honestly, I don't know what the fuck I would do or where I would go to actually talk to IRL people. And even then, like I said, honestly have lots of very, and like I said, I've had time to sort out those issues. But at the same time, it doesn't change the fact those issues exist. And at the same time, just because I feel better in regard to things doesn't change the fact that, how things are in society and how things were likely to be. And even then, it's just like, even then, it's just like, where would I go? How would I talk to people? And just even then, it's like, and it's not like it's that hard. Like, granted, of course, I've had my entire life feeling anxious and shit. I've always had anxiety and shit. But I also, it's not that hard to talk to people. Like, I've gone up and just had normal, like, heck, I was just talking about, like, day at Arby's, I was just talking with people. Casually as if it was nothing. And, they seemed happy and smiling and laughing about it. And they're all three of them trying to convince me to get a job out there. Same time, there's no way to pay the rent with that job. But at the same time, it was just nice to see people. It was nice to talk to them. It was nice to at least feel that people don't hate me, that they were actually enjoying talking to me and smiling at me. That's legitimately made me feel better. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think it also kind of everything kind of went a little bit more since, the 2020 stuff and the pandemic. Like, everyone just sort of, society and culture shifted. Everyone became much more distant from each other. I don't know. Maybe I could always go to a bar again, but even then, I always felt out of place this way because I don't drink. I just get like a can of Red Bull or some shit. Heck, at one point in the past, it was a designated driver to get free soda. But then again, it just, I was in those situations. I was going with friends, and I wanted to hang out with my friends, and it's just like, I feel like my friends are getting too drunk, and I'm like, one, I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of, and I was just like, also, I'm like, I'm here to, hang out with my friends, not with drunk people. I just wanted to spend time with my friends. But yeah, and like I said, in general, I'm kind of worried about stuff in regard to, like, you know, when I do try to work. I mean, am I going to be able to get hired at a place? Will I be able to get jobs? Will I like the job I do? How will management be there? How will job security be? Heck, how will the other people at the job be? Will there be somebody that winds up being an asshole or some shit? Will the job pay enough for me to be able to get by? Will I even be able to do the job right? Will I fuck up in some way? And I know, like, a lot of times I do jobs and I tend to do a really good job at it, but I'm always that constant worry that I'm just going to fuck up or some shit. And it's just, yeah, 'cause that's one good thing about, this shit. There's no pressure on this. Cause here's the thing, if I were to, like, I'm only upload a video if it's, like, perfect or some shit, then I would never upload a video at all, ever. And it'd be a fucking, like, stress-induced piece of shit. That's not what I do this for. I do it so I can just talk and just be myself. It's a place where I can just vent, talk without a filter, talk about whatever. Because heck, I mean, there's a lot of things I wouldn't be able to even just talk to other people IRL, even if I did have friends to hang out with. But it's just, yeah, I mean, I'm running out of time, which I'm going to be able to, continue to be fine and on savings. Because I'm running pretty low on that, says the person who went to Arby's. But at the same time, that's pretty much all I spend money on, just bills and food. But yeah, it definitely makes me feel a lot better to be eating the food, to get like the roast beef and stuff in. Yeah, and it definitely makes me feel a lot better just to talk to people. But that'd be another thing as far as if I ever do end up having a relationship. if I'm actually like fully honest with whoever I'm with in the future, like I'd probably come off as just with the way my personality has gotten to the point of being, well, I guess damaged. Um, I guess I'm probably a bit of an overly clingy person now. I'd probably be wanting to get like 100 hugs a day and be all lovey-dovey and shit. Then again, I'd also want to take naps and cuddles and showers with the person. Like I said, I basically behave like a puppy and a kitten, like fucking lovey-dovey. I'm resisting the urge to start making ooh noises as a fucking joke. But it's just, yeah. And granted, like I said, I mean, I've been married, and while I am a lonely person, I was never as alone as when I was married. That was fucking awful and horrible. And I'd rather be alone forever than be with anybody like her again. I'd rather be alone forever than ever go through that fucking horrible hell again. But it's just, yeah. I feel worried about the future. I feel worried about paying rent, about what I'll do for work. I also feel as though I'm probably going to just be alone for the rest of time. Granted, I've been alone for most of my life. I've had a few relationships here and there. My second longest relationship was half a year, 6 months, and that was actually the healthiest relationship I ever had. That was like a year and a half or so before I wound up like meeting my ex-wife or something like that. It's hard to keep track of time anymore. But yeah, hell. And even then, nowadays, like I said, I had time to at least think about my thoughts and feelings on things, but at the same time, it's just how society is. I don't know when and how I'd actually be meeting anyone ever again. I mean, granted, at least you can't see it in some lights. But in other lights, it stands out quite a bit to my right arm. So, yeah, just that stuff still does bother me to the point that if I actually did have a partner, I'd probably wind up flinching if they ever raised their fucking hand in the air. Not like I wasn't physically stronger than my partner, just I was not the kind of person I ever want to hurt anybody, let alone somebody you're in a relationship with. Same time, that's probably a reason like I never want to get married again, because then it basically you have a legal contract forcing you to stay with somebody that's fucking abusive. I don't know. Then again, I also understand a bit of my expectation of things are a bit jaded. At the same time, it just I just want somebody I'd be able to feel safe with, somebody who would actually respect me, someone who actually care about me. Shouldn't be around somebody who's aggressive and violent and abusive. And and here's the thing, yes, I'm a, a little bit out of my mind myself, but my mental illness is severe depression and talking to myself because I just tend to be, well, somebody who's alone a lot. So it's a good way to deal with loneliness, and it's a good way to think about things out loud when You're by yourself all the time. So my mental illness is just that I'm depressed a lot and lonely and talk to myself and have PTSD about a few hundred things from like every decade of my fucking life. Like, I really shouldn't be able to write a fucking list of 100 things long that triggers like PTSD, but I can. But hey, I'm really good at hiding that. Uh, but yeah, like I said, it does make me feel better to eat some food, and it does make me feel better to talk to people. Like I said, at least my mental illness is just me being sad and lonely, as opposed to somebody who is fucking violent and threatens to murder people. Which is perhaps one of like hundreds of reasons why perhaps PTSD is an issue. But hey, that's part of life, I guess. Um, yeah, I really don't know what the fuck we're talking about now. Just I'm gonna eat my roast beef sandwiches and watch some Let's Plays. And it did make me feel good to talk to people. And oh, by the way, I stopped by the grocery store. Picked up some more jugs of water, but I also picked up some candy bars and some bagels and some waffles and some butter. Oh, and some canned chicken. Yes, I'm already imagining cooking some waffles later and putting some butter on the waffles. Even though I have food right here I'm going to be eating, I'm already thinking about the next meal after that. I'm fat for a reason. And of course, like I said, I want to be physically stronger. I want like I should be able to like go out and just start jogging miles, but at the same time I get injured too easily. I get exhausted. My cardio is shit. I can't jog very far, and I don't feel like jog very fast at all. If my life depended on me running, I wouldn't be able to run, and I would just like seriously injure myself. I'd just trying to run, and it's just you know I have a big ass fucking belly here, a fucking fat that's all jiggly and shit that I feel makes me look extremely gross and disgusting. And my arms are, well, no bigger than the last time I made a live stream video. So, then yeah, that was another thing initially when I did this stuff when I quit my job. I was trying to lose fat and build muscle at the same time. My body just said, fuck you. You can't do that. And I'm like, well, maybe I just force myself to do it. And apparently, and yes, I understand human body doesn't work the way a fucking anime does, but at the same time, I just really strongly feel I am defective as I am and want to not feel like I'm a piece of shit and worthless. So, but yeah, I'm gonna end this video. I'm gonna eat my roast beef sandwiches and watch some Let's Plays and yeah, and you know, probably for the next meal after that, I'm gonna cook some waffles and put some butter on those waffles. Cause like I said, I bought some waffles and some butter and some bagels and oh, I bought some chocolate bars. That's gonna be awesome. And I got a few more gallons of water. So yeah, so part of me feels kind of ashamed of myself because I'm like eating But at the same time, I just wanted to eat some food. I just wanted to eat something. Um, Maybe I'll give this idea one more try at some point. Maybe not for another couple days. It's just the fact that I know I can't do something like this if I was working. Because even if it was a light intensity job, there's no way I'd be able to do the job without, food. I'd probably pass out or something. But at least if I'm not working, if you're low energy from not eating, you could just lay down and pass out. Or if like you're low energy and you're just like reading something and you just are sitting there reading and you just sort of fall asleep while reading, that's not a big deal. You're just sitting in a chair and you're reading a book, or you're trying to read how to learn how to speak German, and you fall asleep. That's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to be sitting there reading a book on how to speak German and falling asleep. Because one, you're not driving anywhere, so you're not going to get in a car accident. And two, you're not doing anything at a job. So if you just fall asleep, you just wake up and be like, oh shit, fell asleep while trying to learn how to speak German. My bad. Whereas, if I was working, like if I go 0 calories and just don't eat anything at all, I mean, what if I fall asleep driving? What if I were to fall asleep working? Or imagine if I was doing a job where I might be working with something potentially dangerous. I mean, you could potentially wind up hurting yourself, or hurting someone else, or destroying something at the company. I mean, imagine if you were like a truck driver or something and you passed out while driving. Or imagine if you were using a fucking chainsaw to cut stuff and you like fall asleep with the chainsaw revving and going. And it's just not eating anything at all makes you definitely not be able to think as quickly at all. I feel like I'm getting dumber as time goes on, and honestly, I feel like my attention span and my ability to focus on anything just is gone already. Let alone if I was but you guys get what I mean. But like I said, it's just I feel like this time where I'm not working is my last opportunity to try to lose fat like this. And granted, I could say, people in the comments, you could suggest healthy, long-term meal plans that people could do. But at the same time, you also feel that, okay, unless I make like immediate improvement, it's not like, getting like a six pack or losing weight or building muscle has to be easy, or it's supposed to be easy. It's that I just don't want it to feel impossible, and I want to feel like I'm making some progress. I want to feel like I'm not, someone that everyone else around me looks at like I'm fucking worthless, garbage, and defective. That I'm just not even human in their eyes. I don't know. But yeah, I might try the 0 calorie thing again. I'm not sure. If I do, it'll be in a couple days, but I don't know. Like I said, part of me feels I should just force myself to do it, and I feel like even if I eat moderate food, you're not going to lose weight. But at the same time, it's just So this has just been a video about me talking about what a fucking failure I am. I can't just go weeks without eating or make myself lift more or run faster. And honestly, like I said, I'd say I jog slower than the average person. I have worse cardio than the average person. I don't have muscular arms. Not only do I not have a six pack, but I don't even have a flat stomach. I have a big, fat, jiggly, disgusting gut. Granted, I've been with women that considered themselves bigger, even though I didn't think they were. And granted, yes, I'm not fucking, blind or some shit. I can tell if somebody is, extremely unhealthily. But at the same time, I've been with women who had a gut and such. I didn't care. I still thought they were beautiful and I still loved them just the same. At the same time, I would have understood they wanted to try to improve their health for just to feel better. But at the same time, it's not like it would have changed the way I felt. But at the same time, I feel like in regard to the way I am, like I said, there has been a lot of negative reinforcement and not really much positive reinforcement. So I feel I have a very realistic expectation of an evaluation of what people IRL actually think of me. And granted, people would probably criticize me for the fact that, oh, you should just be able to work out harder at the gym. You should just eat better. And it's like, I'm trying, okay? And I understand I'm failing. This video is just, hey, I'm Lunar. Here's a video of me just complaining and bitching and making every excuse under the sun and basically saying, hey, I had these goals I said I wanted to try to do. I fucking failed at them. So, yeah. But, like I said, I don't know. I'm gonna eat my food now, or at least the rest of it. Bye.